Daily Bible reading for Monday, April 13th, 2026. Israel defeats the Philistines. 1 Samuel 14:16 through 23. Saul's lookouts in Gibeah of Benjamin saw a strange sight. The vast army of Philistines began to melt away in every direction. Call the roll and find out who's missing, Saul ordered. And when they checked, they found that Jonathan and his armor bearer were gone. Then Saul shouted to Ahijah, "Bring the ephod here," for at that time Ahijah was wearing the ephod in front of the Israelites. But while Saul was talking to the priest, the confusion in the Philistine camp grew louder and louder. So Saul said to the priest, "Never mind, let's get going." Then Saul and all his men rushed out to the battle and found the Philistines killing each other. There was a terrible confusion everywhere. Even the Hebrews, who had previously gone over to the Philistine army, revolted and joined in with Saul. Then Saul shouted to Ahijah, "Bring the ephod up here," for at that time Ahijah was wearing the ephod in front of the Israelites. But while Saul was talking to the priest, the confusion in the Philistine camp grew louder and louder. So Saul said to the priest, "Never mind, let's get going." Then Saul and all his men rushed out to the battle and found the Philistines killing each other. There was terrible confusion everywhere. Even the Hebrews, who had previously gone over to the Philistine army, revolted and joined in with Saul, Jonathan, and the rest of the Israelites. Likewise, the men of Israel who were hiding in the hill country of Ephraim joined the chase when they saw the Philistines running away. So the Lord saved Israel that day, and the battle continued to rage even beyond Beth Aven. Saul's foolish oath. 1 Samuel 14:24 through 46. Now the men of Israel were pressed to exhaustion that day, because Saul had placed them under oath, saying, "Let a curse fall on anyone who eats before evening, before I have full revenge on my enemies." So no one ate anything all day. Even though they had all found honeycomb on the ground in the forest, they didn't dare touch the honey, because they feared the oath they had taken. But Jonathan had not heard his father's command, and he dipped the end of his stick into a piece of honeycomb and then ate the honey. After he had eaten it, he felt refreshed. But when one of the men saw him and said, "Your father made the army take a strict oath that anyone who eats food today will be cursed. That is why everyone is weary and faint. My father has made trouble for us all," Jonathan exclaimed. "A command like that only hurts us. See how refreshed I am now that I have eaten this little bit of honey." If the men had been allowed to eat freely from the food they found among our enemies, think about how many more Philistines we could have killed. They chased and killed the Philistines all day from Michmash to Ajalon, growing more and more faint. That evening they rushed for the battle plunder, and butchered the sheep, goats, cattle, calves. But they ate them without draining the blood. Someone reported to Saul, "Look, at the men are sinning against the Lord by eating the meat that still has blood in it." "That is very wrong," Saul said. "Find a large stone and roll it over here. Then go out among the troops and tell them, 'Bring the cattle, sheep, goats here to me. Kill them here, drain the blood before you eat them. Do not sin against the Lord by eating meat with blood still in it.'" So that night all the troops brought their animals and slaughtered them there. Then Saul built an altar to the Lord, and it was the first of altars he had built to the Lord. Then Saul said, "Let's chase the Philistines all night and plunder them until sunrise. Let's destroy every last one of them." His men replied, "We'll do whatever you think is best." But the priest said, "Let's ask God first." So Saul asked God, "Should we go after the Philistines? Will you help us defeat them?" But God made no reply that day. Then Saul said to the leaders, "Something's wrong. I want all my army commanders to come here. We must find out what sin was committed today. I vow by the name of the Lord who rescued Israel that the sinner will surely die, even if it is my own son Jonathan. But no one would tell him what the trouble was. Then Saul said, Jonathan, I will stand over here, and all of you will stand over there. And all the people responded to Saul, whatever you think is best. So, let's see. Then Saul prayed, O Lord, God of Israel, please show us who is guilty and who is innocent. Then they cast sacred lots, and Jonathan and Saul were chosen as the guilty ones, and the people were declared innocent. Then Saul said, Now cast lots again and choose between me and Jonathan. And Jonathan was shown to be the guilty one. Tell me what you've done, Saul demanded of Jonathan. I tasted a little honey, Jonathan admitted. It was only a little bit on the end of a stick. Does that deserve death? Yeah, Jonathan said. Yes, Jonathan, Saul said. You must die. May God strike me and even kill me if you do not die for this. But the people broke in and said to Saul, Jonathan has won this great victory for Israel. Should he die? Far from it. As surely as the Lord lives, not one hair on his head will be touched, for God helped him to do a great deed today. So the people rescued Jonathan, and he was not put to death. Then Saul called back the army from chasing the Philistines, and the Philistines returned home. Saul's military successes, 1 Samuel 14:47 through 52. Now, when Saul had secured his grasp on Israel's throne, he fought against his enemies in every direction, against Moab, Ammon, Edom, and the kings of Zobah and the Philistines. And wherever he turned, he was victorious. He pursued great deeds. Come on, then. Hold on, I'm trying to read to the people. Come here. Okay. Okay, stop it. Great deeds conquered the Amalekites, saving Israel from all those who had plundered them. Saul's sons included Jonathan, this is a big one, Ishbosheth, and Malchishua. He had also had two daughters, Merab, who was older, and Michal, Michal, Michal. Saul's wife was Ahinoam, the daughter of Ahimaaz. The commander of Saul's army was Abner, the son of Saul's uncle Ner. Saul's father Kish and Abner's father Ner were both sons of Abiel. The Israelites fought constantly with the Philistines throughout Saul's lifetime. Whenever Saul observed a young man who was brave and strong, he drafted him into his army. Alright, well, that's it for Monday, day 172. Very, very special. This was my mom and my grandma's Bible, and they're both gone, so it's very nice to have this. Alright, have a beautiful evening. Well, we have a little time. Why don't we do a daily bread? I love these. So this is like the coolest thing ever. My auntie gave me this because apparently I used to play with the cards when I was a little kid. Anyway, I was just obsessed with this thing, and she gave it to me very recently. So anyway, it's very special. Okay, thou shalt call, and I will answer thee. Job 14:15. The other side says, He giveth grace unto the humble. James 4:6. Good stuff. Alright, you dudes. Have a blessed evening. Or morning, wherever you're at.